Hello and welcome to today's lesson. In this lesson we're going to be looking at a rock rhythm guitar part. It's kind of based on the style of Keith Richards, so we could say this is a rock rhythm guitar lesson in the style of Keith Richards. So if you do like this lesson, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and you'll also find the free backing track for this rhythm guitar part in the description box below. So let's go to the guitar neck and let's get started. Okay, so we're going to break this down note for note for you. So I'm using my Strat, I've got it on the bridge pickup, and I've got a slight bit of gain on there from my Ibanez Tube Screamer pedal. So this guitar part is broken into two different parts. So we've got like an A section and a B section. So we'll go through the A section first. Okay, so we start off by playing an A chord, so just an A major chord. We're not using the traditional way of using all three fingers, we're just using the rock kind of way where it's just flattening this first finger down on the second fret. So it's open the A string, second fret D string, second fret G string, and second fret B string. Then we're kind of stopping the strings from ringing out, so there's not really a tap, but we are just stopping the strings. So you can do that with a mixture of releasing your fingers and also just pressing down on the strings here so it stops them ringing. Then we're going to be playing the open A note. So it's then we're playing this part of the D chord. So this is a D major chord. Technically it's the first inversion because we're starting it from the third of the chord rather than the root. But again, don't really need to know that. All you need to do is play, we're going to have a bar at the second fret going across the D, G and B string. Then it's going to be the third finger on the fourth fret on the D string. That's when the next note on the G string is actually the one that's been barred at the second fret. And then it's going to be the third fret on the B string. So we do a down pick, or down strum to cover all those three strings. Then we take off these two fingers, so we're left with just that bar, so like the A chord again. And we do an up pick on that. So it's going to be... Now after we've done that, we want to play the open A string again, then followed by a second fret on the A string, third fret on the A string, then there's a slight little pause, and then we're basically going to be strumming this A major chord again. But this time we're not actually strumming from the A string, we're strumming from the D string. So we get this little... Now I'm personally picking that as a down, up, down, and then down on all those. So now we've got... Now we do that twice, so that's your main riff, you could say, of this first part. So that's what it all was, when I made this, that's what it was all based upon, that riff there. So we just do that twice. Now again, you notice at the end, I just kind of stop the strings from ringing out till I get back to beat one. Now we're going to an E chord. Now this is the same shape as we used over the little bit where we down strum and then take your fingers off. We're doing the same chord shape, just now moved up. So the first, so the bar's going to be at the fourth fret, the third finger is going to be on the sixth fret, and the which is on the D string, and then the B string with your second finger on the fifth fret. So we strum that first, then we play the open E string, low E string, so you've got to skip across that string and play that note. So we do the same thing again where we strum the chord, stop the strings, and then play the open E note. Then we strum down again, for those notes, and then we do the same thing we did when we did the D major chord earlier. We take those two fingers off and up strum there, so it's, and then we're going to do that little pause again, followed by the open E note again. So now we go to the 9th fret, and we'll make a little bar across the D string, G string and B string. Just kind of like playing the E major bar chord at the 7th fret, but we're just using this small part of it. So we basically strum down across those 3 strings, then we up pick on the 11th fret on the D string, and then we basically do the same thing we did to begin with, where we just strum down from the, take that finger off, we strum down, so it's all on the 9th fret, D, G and B strings. Now with this, I find that when you do the middle note where you play the 11th fret, you can do that with an up pick, which is kind of like strumming as well, so you can hit those other notes in there as well. That's absolutely fine, it has a good effect. Okay, so I'll just play that E chord section for you. So now we go back to the A chord. It's very similar to start with to the original starting riff. So we do the A chord, stop the strings, open A note, then we do the little D major shape again. So down pick on that shape, and then release these 2 fingers and do an up pick. Then there's a little pause again, and then we go back to that D major shape. So it's going to be... Now once we've done this, there's a little pause again, and I like to also do a little palm muted A note, just to open A string. But we actually move this exact same shape that we've just been doing at the 2nd fret, and we move this down so it's first finger bar in the same place before, the 9th fret with the E, or like an E chord shape, but we're putting these fingers on like we did before with the D chord, so that's going to be the D string at the 11th fret, and the B string at the 10th fret. So now we do the same thing as before, where we basically do a strum down there, and then we take these 2 fingers off, and we're just left with this little bar at the 9th fret. So that section. So that's it for our first section, our first part. So I'm just going to play that all through with you without the backing track, just so you can hear how it all sounds. So now we're going to move on to section 2. Now this is the same kind of thing, we're using some of the same kind of shapes, and it's just going to be again another repeated kind of section. So this time we start with that D chord style shape that we did before, so 4th fret on the D, 2nd fret on the G, which is part of a bar, which is covering the D, G and B strings, and then the B string 3rd fret. So we do a down strum there, then we do an up strum, which just leaves that little bar which is covering the 2nd fret, D, G and B strings again. Now after that, before we do it again, so we're doing that twice, but before we do it again, we just pick the A note, the open A string. Again, if you want to add a little bit of palm mute on that, it sounds quite cool as well. Now we go to the open A note, and we just do a little palm mute once, and then on beat number 1, which you'll hear in the backing track, we just do a full kind of a stab of that full A power chord, A major chord. As soon as we've done that, we are back into just palm muting it for the rest of that beat, the rest of that bar. So that's that full section. So there's not much to that section. It basically repeats that same thing 4 times before going back to the other riff. So I'll just play it through so you can hear how that sounds. So we basically do section number 1, we do that twice, and then we do this section and go back to section number 1. So now I've gone through all of it, I'm just going to play through both parts now together, so you can hear how they sound without the backing track. Thanks very much for watching today's lesson. If you liked the lesson, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel so you can keep up to date with the videos. Don't forget to get your free backing track from the link in the description box below, and we'll see you next time.